What is poppin', squad? It is your boy Jesimein, and today I have my first build video on Defiance. Man, I've been playing this game a lot. This is for the people who want to use the best class, in my opinion, in this game. It is extremely viable in every situation, and I'll explain why. So without further ado, let's get it. So let's go to my character. You can see right here, I'm not going to go through my weapons and stuff. That's for another video. We're going to focus on the class itself, because it does not matter what weapon you use, despite two, and I'll explain why. But for the most part, since this game is universal with weapons, that's all preference. But let's go into the combat medic. As you guys can see, the reason I chose combat medic, first of all, is because it has a healing ability. None of the other classes have a healing ability, and the only way they need to heal is to get out of combat by some way, whether it be the assassin going invisible, the guardian blocking himself, assault running away, and the demolitions doesn't really have one. But I love the fact that the combat medic has the self heal that is a 40-second duration when it's maxed out, and it follows you around. So I'll pop it so you guys can see right here. It's like a little bot that kind of runs around and heals you. He is right there. It's super sick, man. I love the idea of it. Wherever I go, he goes, and he can also heal your teammates and other ones. So the cool thing about him is, oh, he's staying over there. That's kind of sus. Maybe it's because I'm out of combat. But anyways, he'll follow you around when you're in combat. He'll heal you. He'll heal teammates, and there's different mods or different specs you can do to make him do different things, I guess. But the way I set it up is basically to heal myself, because a lot of the play I've done has been solo, and I like being able to run through missions without having to worry and rely on other players. So getting into the combat medic itself, you can see, let's read the description for the bot. A bot that follows you around and heals you in nearby friendly units for 40-second cooldown. Now, where I did on the tier cap, I didn't want to use, you can easily do reduced cooldown for self-revive each time your healing bot heals a friendly unit. So when you go down, you get one self-revive, and then it's like a cooldown. Basically, recover, if you were to spec into this, you'll basically, every time your bot heals somebody else, that little cooldown gets shorter. I don't find this useful, really, because if you use this class, you shouldn't be dying that much anyways, being the fact that you have the healing bot as is. So it's pretty much useless for me. But if you want to be like a dedicated self-reviver, I guess you can spec into that, but I think this is the worst one to spec in out of the three. The second one is Savior. Reviving another player gives you both a buff that decreases incoming damage for like 10 seconds. So basically, this is like Battle Buddy if you play Division. When you revive somebody, you both get resistance so that you don't get focused, especially in like boss fights or anything. I wouldn't spec into this unless you want to be like complete healer role, because you can definitely spec this in a complete healing. I wouldn't. The way I'm running it is like universal, especially for self-sustain, because your bot's going to heal people regardless, and you can self-revive them anyway. So what I spec'd into was motivation. It's when you kill an enemy, give yourself and nearby friend units increased reload speed for 5 seconds. And reload speed is amazing in this game. It makes a lot of weapons way better. It's a 30-second cooldown, but it is a 40% faster reload. You can get that DPS off, so it is basically like a DPS buff every 30 seconds, which is amazing. That's why I love this build, because it's like unlimited buff. So going into the main skill, the second main skill, you have two decisions. You have protection spike, stationary spike that decreases incoming damage to all nearby players for 15 seconds. It's a 50-second cooldown. So basically, you put down a spike and it just protects everybody for a certain amount of time. I think it's okay, but I don't want to use this because I feel Guardian would be better for this. It has better skills that do give you resistances. If I'm gonna play combat medic, I'm definitely gonna go for raw buffs, and that's where Inspire comes in. It increases damage done by yourself and all friend units for 10 seconds, and it's 20% extra damage on everything. So no matter what class you're running, no matter what weapon you're using, it's a raw 20% damage increase over everything. And I think this outclasses the protection spike by a landslide. I mean, first of all, it's a 50-second cooldown. Yes, it lasts 15 seconds, but it's only damage reduction, which you don't really need because you have a healing bot, like I said. And this one is a 45-second cooldown, plus you get raw damage. And I mean, with any gun, that makes it better, you know, and that's 20% raw damage. So it's basically like a booster shot for everybody, and it's everybody around you. So the cool thing about it is, like, if you're in a group of like 50 and you pop this, everybody who's near you gets this. There is no limit to it. So you basically increase everybody's damage by 20%, and that's a big buff for everybody. So I think that's the best way to go when you're speccing into this. Now for the tier 3, you have light machine gun dampen, so you get higher accuracy with light machine guns. If you're an LMG player, this is good for you because accuracy is kind of buns from far away. You max this out, it's probably going to be around 20% accuracy if it keeps going by 4. You can easily utilize this if you like LMGs, especially if you get a good exotic one. Make sure you spec into that. But I definitely went in for the pistol tactician, which is pistols do more critical hit damage, and they do 20% more critical hit damage. I'm waiting to get an exotic gun or a legendary pistol that hits extremely hard, and I'll be able to utilize this critical damage buff, because that is a lot of damage, and pistols are almost one-shotting things in the game anyways, so I prefer to go for pistol tactician. Now you can also do bot supplier, which is on healing a player. Your healing bot also replenish your ammo. I never really had a problem with ammo so far, and I've played a lot of the game, so a lot of ammo's all over the place, plus there's restocks hanging around, and obviously you can go to like the vendors and get ammo, but for the most part you never really need this, so I wouldn't recommend this. I would definitely go for pistol tactician. That's the best one, best in slot, especially if you like pistols. It definitely makes your pistols hit hard. For the tier 4, I believe, I don't know what it's called, but I have hasten on a kill. Move speed is increased for you and nearby friendly units for 5 seconds every 20 seconds. So 20% move speed, you kill something, you get to move faster. I mean, that's basically like the assault version. Assault has a skill where you can speed up yourself. This is like a mini version of it, and it allows you to move really fast and get out of situations, especially like if you you have your cooldown up, you kill something real quick and you escape, you can go to heal, go to get your skills back, whatever you need to do. So it's really good, and it works for everybody too. So this is why I like considering this build is like the buff god build, because there's so many different things that cycle. More than likely you always have at least one buff up, no matter whether it's reload speed, whether it's move speed, whether it's damage. You always have something up, and it's like kind of like a rotating thing. And if movement speed isn't your thing, you can also spec into one for all, which is when you revive a group member, other group members are also revived. This is really good if you want to make a healer based class. Let's say you wanted to spec into straight support. I would definitely choose this over hasten, because this is basically like revive one person and the whole team gets revived, and I think that's like basically a recovery ult from the vision. Pop it, everybody gets up, you get to move on, and it's a 5-meter range to start. So fully upgraded, it's probably like to around 25 meters, and that's pretty much the whole battlefield of the arc falls, or whenever you're in a mission. More than likely you're reviving everybody. So if you want to do this, if you want to be full healer and spec into that, that's possibly the best way to go. You can easily still get the build I'm running, but just give up movement speed and get this as like a little side token if you need to heal somebody. And I mean, that's an incredible perk, especially because there's no cooldown for it. I think they can be really effective. You can also have bot empower. On healing a player, your bot gives them a buff that increases their fire for 5 seconds. So once again, if you want to go the full buff route, let's say you want to be full team support, you can pop out your bot and give your teammates 14% faster fire rate, and that's base. So you can, I don't know what that can go up to, but that's a big buff of fire rate, especially if you have like a demolitionist that's spamming their nades. You can really give them a crazy buff. Now, as far as the ultimate ability, I chose to go to Ego Refresh, and without question, I think this is the best one, and that's reduces activated ability cooldowns for you and nearby friendly players. This effect can be triggered on any target more than once, or cannot be triggered on any target more than once every 80 seconds. So basically what this does is it almost instantaneously gives you all of your skills back, and it may sound like a little buff, but I'm telling you, this is huge. Especially when you have your healing bot, or especially when you pop like the attack buff, you can cycle your cooldowns and have a crazy amount of skill haste by just popping this skill. Even though 120-second cooldown seems like a lot, when you're mixing all your other buffs in cycle, that goes by really quickly. So I would definitely choose Ego Refresh over anything else. People would say go Revive Spike if you want to do support, but I still think Ego Refresh is better support than even the Revive Spike, which is a stationary spike that allows players to revive themselves as long as they're close to it, and it only lasts 10 seconds. That's pretty much useless to me. I mean, yes, it'll probably last for like 40 seconds, and if you're like in a boss fight where everybody's going down, you can't heal everybody, you can drop this down, and it's like kind of like a support station that keeps people alive. and instead of having to extract out, you can easily put this down. But I think it's more important to run Ego Refresh, because then I can just pop my heals and people can use their skills to get a way to heal up. So if you want to go full on 100% healing support, you can easily do Revive Spike, but to make the build the best it could possibly be, I would say Ego Refresh. This is one of the most powerful abilities in the game, and that's a 70% cooldown reduction at max rank. So once again, going through everything, I spec'd into 3 healing bot, I went 5 motivation, I went 3, let me go right here, I keep skipping it, 3 inspire, 5 pistol tactician, 5 hasten, and 4 Ego Refresh. And that's my build. That's pretty much it, you guys. For the most part, I still believe Combat Medic is by far the best build out of all the builds. I'm definitely going to make all builds for different ones, but after testing out and playing with the others, I think overall Combat Medic definitely makes all weapons powerful. It has a self heal, it has a skill cooldown, it has movement speed, and it has reload speed, and it has pistol damage. Like, you can't beat that. It's you're pretty much jack of all trades with this build, and you can easily spec into different things to make it support. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Hopefully you enjoy a little gameplay I got of it. Hey, if you guys are brand new to the game, this is definitely a solo friendly build, and definitely a early game friendly build, because it makes the early game like a joke. So stay tuned for the next video. I got a gun I want to show you guys, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think, man. Do you want to see more of these builds? Do you want to see more gameplay? Let me know. This game comes free to play tomorrow, the 10th, so you can hop in. You guys watch this video now, you know what to spec into. You can easily go check out, you know, other classes if you want to, but if you want the best of the best, I say go for the Combat Medic. It's good at everything. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all, man. Stay tuned. Your boy is out. Not good.
Thanks. I'm a miner, not a merc.